Hey everyone, welcome to our first session, which is an introduction to the Indian blockchain landscape. And who better to present than my co-founder at Blockchain India and Blocumen Studios, who also heads all the initiatives here, our very dear Akshay Aggarwal. Akshay, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Manav. Hey, everyone. Glad to be talking to you again here, sharing my two bits on what's happening in the Indian blockchain scene. Right. So I think it's been an energetic day, I suppose. You know, uh, I think all of you must have seen the notification about the crypto bill that's been put, as a listing item for the upcoming parliamentary session. I guess this is nothing more than a hiccup. All of us, at least for the last 4 years, I've come up to terms with, the regulatory. I would say first inaction and then too much action. Sometimes with the ban coming, and then it's just been too eventful. But considering the amount of talent and I would say intelligence or the collective consciousness of the Indian ecosystem. I think it's going to be it definitely is going to be a positive future, right? So without getting much distracted of the news, I think we shall continue on our path. Right, I'll for the sake of the presentation, I'll switch off my video so that there are no bandwidth issues. We've The last time we faced some on the platform. I'm guessing this just helps us go ahead smoothly. All right. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Akshay Aggarwal. I lead initiatives at Blockchain India and Blocumen Studios. I'm a big believer of the idea that decentralization is important to drive progress and change, and hence through both the entities, we're promoting mass adoption of web 3.0 and blockchain based applications. Well, today I'm going to be talking about the current landscape of blockchain and crypto in India. Well, I think news today itself will have a huge impact on the things as we've seen in the last couple of months. But so far, let me just share what's happened until now, right? So, yeah, uh, yeah. So the current crypto perspective of the whole situation um, is, there's been a significant rise, in the incoming traffic on crypto exchanges. As all of you already know, tokenization and digital assets do provide disruptive opportunities, and evolution opportunities for the existing markets. They present drastically new business models. There is a reason why progress seeking and forward looking individuals get attracted to this space, and you can see those by just about double the numbers in if you compare 6 months for coin switch, which is one of the crypto exchanges which has been fairly new in terms of their launch, right? I think they came up with the whole Kubo Air product in not more than about, I would say, 12 to 14 months ago. But they've hit about 1.1 million, visits. And if you see that as compared to the ones that were happening in July last year, it was about half of what it saw in December 2020. Right. So we can we can see that in terms of investments there's a huge increase in interest. There is a similar scenario for education and awareness programs as well. All I would say, I would many startups, definitely the good ones, are coming up with their own learning programs, right, with the idea of contributing to the current awareness of the audience. as we see it, right? Apart from that, I think, there have been fairly a lot of challenges that the industry has faced, and interestingly, we're talking about it today, but there's definitely been an huge negativity in terms of the outlook of regulators in the space. I think the space definitely contradicts the current economic structure. Authorities are coming up with regulations prohibiting trade in cryptocurrencies, because I think change is always resisted by the regulator, and we can see that here as well, right? uh, Apart from that, there's a huge learning curve in Web 3.0, and hence there's not enough awareness yet. Had we been talking about 6 months ago, I would say that we have to still focus on a lot of awareness, or creating initiatives focused around awareness. But as I shared, many startups are going ahead with their own learning, or academies, just to contribute towards awareness and build up the ecosystem. All right. So, the crypto perspective for the last 6 months was, quite vibrant, but the technology perspective has been, according to me, or the samples that we've seen, the technology perspective has been even more attractive. Um, the specific, reason being that India has always been considered as an outsourcing destination. We have uh, a good talent base here, and efficient at delivering, specifically with, I would say, our conduct, our ethics, our efficiency in terms of price points as well. Right. So, I mean, we can see that playing out when it comes to outsourcing gigs that are coming towards our way, right? And on top of it, financial institutions are focusing on wide scale adoptions as well. The primary reason is they want to make their tech more efficient, hence payments related implementations are seeing many takers. Though there are challenges, but if you compare them from before, we've come a long way. Standardizations are being agreed upon, within the industry. This can be seen in India with, some open community efforts, especially with regards to NFTs and DeFi, right? Another challenge has been, you know, I would say, many use cases have fallen apart, from outside of the DeFi space, right? Specifically, um, social applications, or even, I would say, societal, impact related use cases that we were looking at before, right? Um so that's that. On top of that, I think there is definitely lack of standardization that we see within protocols, or which is coming to be corrected, but this together is kind of like a double whammy that we're, as an industry, facing at the moment. Okay, so if you look at trends, on the ground, there's a lot of interest owing to, the increase in the price of bitcoins, right? So people are flocking towards investing in crypto. Liquidity has increased in a comparable way, as one can see, in the traditional equity markets at the moment. People do keep discussing about price points on our forums, and the optimum value is something that we see continuous deliberation on the part of our community members. There's a lot of discussion about NFTs, right? So I would say that you know there is a definite direction for NFT related implementations or discussions at large, just exploring use cases, and then even hiring of NFT related developers at the moment, is nothing short of what it was for DeFi about 10, 12 months ago. And, DeFi has only picked up from there, from where it was back then, right? There has been a huge increase in, remote hiring of developers, right? I think within the last month, uh, we just at our organization have enabled about 10 plus, hiring positions. And, there is continuous incoming inquiries for facilitating, recruitment, right? And many of these firms also, intend to, or at least, they share that they intend to, get developers on site post the pandemic times, right? Uh, well, what's been most interesting is there was, for the most parts, there was a lack of investments for Indian startups, specifically crypto ones. But now that's changed. We're seeing big VC firms coming in, looking at investments. So, for example, Kalari Capital has, dedicated quite some, focus in their $100 million fund, which is the most recent one. So I mean, it's interesting times with mainstream VCs looking at things. If you see just the last 3 to 4 months, we've seen investments in exchanges like CoinSwitch, Uber, which raised about $14 million. Then there is, the first or early rounds of Node Finance, Persistence, and Razor Network that happened, to the tunes of about a little over 3 million each, right? So yeah, so that's a perspective on what's going on at the ground. When it comes to Blocumen Studios, we are quite spread across in terms of our offerings. But if you look at you know the main focus, most of it at today goes in these four directions. Talent recruitment, upskilling, and capacity building. Startup consultations, which were full blown evolving into incubation, and then product developments, wherein we're paying a lot of focus to CBDCs, stable coins, NFTs, because the inquiries have been a lot more for these as compared to others, right? Um, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the upskilling and capacity building initiative. But if you look at talent recruitment, it's fairly for happening for protocol teams, DeFi, DApp teams. Or the third favorite would be from global services teams, right? If you look at startup consultations, we have it's been fairly new for us, but we're currently consulting 3 startups, and we're evolving, as I said, into a full scale incubation environment at Blockchain Studios, right? So yeah, the most exciting part is the 100 days of code, which is kind of it comes from our earlier vision, wherein we always wanted to put India at the forefront, enabling and facilitating, kind of the blockchain revolution worldwide. So, it hadn't taken us long that, there would be dedicated effort that would be required. And, we then started this upskilling drive at, targeted at probably, grassroots more than anything else. And, we feel as an ecosystem organization, if we do that, we will have ripple effects in producing quality initiatives or quality products, startups, and so on and so forth, right? So we proceeded in the direction of a developer come entrepreneurship bootcamp in the 100 days of code initiative, right? It's more of a collaborative learning exercise, targeted at blockchain. Obviously, the idea is to take participants through a set of classes that are delivered by industry developers, right, who are building um, various applications today and I've been in this space for quite some time. The whole phase wherein they're setting the curriculum to delivering and helping, the participants go through the program, building their own projects, all of that hand holding. And content delivery is done by these industry developers, right? A main aspect to this is the theme that we chose, right? So platform extensions was one of the most exciting things, and it still remains the same. And with the first two cohorts, we partnered with the Open Application Network, to create applications, in the decentralized world that sort of adds to the value that gets delivered on platforms, right? So that was the first two cohorts. The next cohort is going to be more focused on DeFi, NFT, social tokens, and we're going to see Amrit from Silica Foundation talk more about it post the pitch session, right? And so at the end of the program, we get an exciting opportunity to our participants. The top three startups get equity free grants. There's a direct selection into Tim Draper's incubator in the valley, right? So these two together enable our participants to have a shot at bootstrapping their startups as well as gaining a global exposure by physically being in the heart of the innovation ecosystem of the world, right? So yeah, for us right now, the ecosystem is super at a super exciting stage. We intend to keep building uh, impactful products. We intend to keep supporting entrepreneurs, and I would like to end it on that note, saying that it's an exciting time, and do join us if you're looking to build DeFi projects in the upcoming cohorts. Yeah, and thank you for your time. I hope you like the presentations from our entrepreneurs from the last cohort. Manav, over to you. I can take any questions if you guys have. Manav, do we have time for that?
Yes, we have a couple of minutes. Any questions, guys? You can write it in the here in the
Manav,
live
there's
chat. All right. There are no questions. Then we can move ahead with the next session. Thank you. Thank you, Akshay.
well, there's a hand that's raised. Is that for questions or
Uh,
is that for something
no,
else?
no, no, no. That is not for questions. That is our participants getting
All
ready
right,
for
all
pitching. All right. Okay. Thank you, guys.
right. Awesome, awesome.
All all
Thank
right.
you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you.